Hi everyone, my name is Erkin Yücel and I am here for another demonstration video using Ship Engine Room Simulator SERS software. In this video, I will be lining up lube oil separator system. So for that, I will open the user interface panel of lube oil separator from my main screen. And as you can see, this lube oil separation system consists of lube oil sump tank, lube oil feed pump, a steam heater, and a separator, which works as a purifier. For that, first I will start my lube oil separator from the control panel by pressing the start button. And as you can see, the separator is now waiting for the bowl speed and the lube oil temperature. By the time I will line up the lube oil line and maintain the correct temperature for separation. I will open the sump tank outlet, suction and discharge valves of the feed pump, inlet and outlet of the steam heater, and I will circulate the lube oil until I reach the correct separation temperature. And I will be separating my lube oil and feeding it back to main engine sump tank. I will start the feed pump now. And by the time I will line up the steam heating system, I will adjust the temperature controller by pressing auto button. And the set temperature for lube oil is 88 Celsius degrees. And as you can see, the main controller of the temperature is opening the steam valve and adjusting the steam flow rate. And I will line up the fresh water system as the operating water for separator. The separator is ready for the operation now, except that it is waiting for the correct temperature, the set temperature for lube oil separation, which is around 88 Celsius. Speed is ready and temperature is almost ready for the operation, and the separator starts with the closing the bowl by admitting the closed water. This animation shows the inside of the separator bowl. As you can see, the closed water is slowly closing the bowl right now. And I'm following the sequence of bowl closing, and the bowl is completely closed, and it's time for admitting the seal water. The water interface around the discs are forming, and now the separator is feeding lube oil to separator, and the correct interface is formed. I will adjust the back pressure of the separator around 1.5 bar. I can change this pressure by adjusting the valve, and I will leave it as 1.5 bar. And now, as you can see, I am able to feed lube oil back to the main engine sump tank. And before starting up the separator, the user is expected to set the discharge interval, which is in this case 120 seconds, so that the separator will continue separation until the discharge interval is reached. Now is around 50 seconds. And by the time, you can see that the sludge is building up on the sides of the bowl. When the discharge interval is reached, the bowl will open and discharge the accumulated sludge in the bowl. And an important thing for the user is this info button. When the user clicks this info button, this page shows the timing of the separator and also a guide for choosing the correct gravity disk. I will go back to lube oil separator and watch the rest of the operation. In this separator, the water is continuously discharged from the separator bowl to sludge tank. And when the bowl is open, both water and sludge is discharged to sludge tank. There's a sludge build up, and now it's discharge time. The separator is displacing the oil inside the separator, and now it's time to open the bowl, and the sludge is discharging with water too. And now separator is back to closing the bowl again. I'm following the sequence timer on the side, and the oil is back in the separator bowl admitted inside, and the interface is forming the water oil interface, and now separator is back to normal operation and feeding the clean oil back to main engine sump tank. And again, the separator will continue its operation until the discharge time is met, which is in this case 120 seconds. And this can be changed by the user also. Now I will stop the separator and change the discharge interval. Let's say I want my separator to discharge more frequently. I will set it to 100 seconds for the convenience of the simulator time. And I will start the separator back. But before, I would like to show you another thing. As you can see, there's a guide for choosing the correct gravity disk. And I have to obtain the density of the oil at 15 degrees Celsius. So I will run the program for 15 degrees Celsius, and the density of the oil is around 180 kilogram for cubic meters, a little bit above. And the separation temperature is around 88 degrees Celsius. So I will follow the line of 850, and I will match with the separation temperature. And this monogram shows that the correct gravity disk, the inner diameter of the gravity disk for around 2.4 cubic meters per hour as the flow rate is 92 millimeters. And I was already operating the lube oil separator with the gravity disk of 92 millimeters of inner diameter. I will change it to 84 millimeters. And again, this operation, changing the inner diameter of the gravity disk and changing the discharge interval, can only be set when the separator is off. I've made my changes for the separator operation, and I will start my separator back on again. Waiting for the speed of the separator, and the correct temperature is already maintained by the steam heater. I'm checking the current of the electric motor of the separator, and now the open water is admitted to the bowl, and then the closed water as shown in the separator timing diagram. At the startup, the first open water is admitted, and closed water after that for relatively longer time. When the bowl is completely closed, the seal water is admitted inside the bowl to form the correct interface between oil and water, and then the oil is admitted inside the bowl. As the separation continues, separator changes its timing to discharge. The oil is fed back to the sump tank instead of the separator, and then the rest of the operation is discharging operation is performed by the correct timing of open and close water. And also during this discharge time, seal water is kept on to keep the sludge and the other impurities wet for the next operation. I will return back to lube oil separator. As you can see, the separator is already formed the interface between oil and water and already started the discharge sequence, the separation sequence. When the separation sequence reached the 100 seconds in this case, the purifier will start discharging the buildup sludge. Discharge time is almost met, and I'll wait for the separator to discharge the sludge buildup inside the bowls. Here's the displacement water pushing the oil inside out, and the sludge is discharged now. And this loop continues until the user closes the feed line or stops the separator. This will be all for this demonstration. I will see you in the next video.